Small but agile, the Republic F-84 Thunderjet emerged as an American post-war design and played a pivotal role in the early years of the Cold War. In Europe, the Thunderjet was even modified to have a nuclear deterrent against the threat posed by the Soviet Union. The F-84 appeared in three main forms: the base original F-84 Thunderjet, the improved swept-wing derivative in the F-84 Thunderstreak, and the dedicated reconnaissance bird in the F-84 Thunderflash. Inspired by the P-47 Thunderbolt, the F-84 had a typical 1950s design. The fuselage was tubular in nature, with a stout center section and tapered forward and aft portions. The nose was dominated by the circular air intake that fed the single engine, taking the middle and aft portions of the design. The pilot's position consisted of a forward placement sitting above the air intake vents and under a glass canopy with light forward framing. The F-84 was armed with a combination of 6 12.7mm M3 Browning heavy machine guns. 4 of these were affixed to the upper forward fuselage, while the remaining 2 were positioned at the wing roots. Additionally, the F-84 was cleared for using other munitions in the form of rockets, bombs, and even the Mark 7 nuclear bomb. External munitions capacity was limited to 4,450 pounds of ordnance. The Thunderjet became the US Air Force's primary strike aircraft during the Korean War, flying 86,408 sorties and destroying 60% of on-ground targets in the war, as well as 8 Soviet-built MiG fighters. Thunderjets first encountered MiGs on January 21, 1952, when 8 F-84s raiding Dung Tran Bridge were bounced by 2 flights of MiG-15s, which shot an F-84 down. Over half of the 7,524 F-84s produced served with NATO nations, and it was the first aircraft to fly with the US Air Force Thunderbird's demonstration team. The US Air Force Strategic Air Command had F-84 Thunderjets in service from 1948 through 1957. The F-84 was the first production fighter aircraft to utilize in-flight refueling and the first fighter capable of carrying a nuclear weapon, the Mark 7 nuclear bomb. By the late 1950s, the Air Force began retiring all models of the F-84 in favor of the supersonic F-100 Super Sabre and F-105 Thunderchief, though F-84s served in Air National Guard units until 1970, and Portuguese Thunderjets saw action in a colonial war in Angola until 1974. The last Thunderflash was finally retired by the Greek Air Force in 1991, a long career for a tough jet that has seemed outdated nearly as soon as it entered service.